It's a little bit different out here when you get Caitlin Clark treatment. It ain't so easy peasy getting to play one-on-one, getting to just do your thing how you want to do it, when you want to do it.
Okay, this is wild. The mask is off. The charade is done. The so-called prophecy just collapsed on live television. The WNBA's desperate push to crown a next Caitlin Clark officially went up in smoke. Paige Bueckers, the media's handpicked golden child, hyped as Clark's heir, the supposed savior of women's basketball, just got served a harsh reality check courtesy of the Seattle Storm. And make no mistake, this wasn't just a rough night. This was an exposure clinic, proof that hype doesn't stand a chance when it runs into the unforgiving wall of WNBA defense.
This was the first time we saw Paige really get guarded. This is where we saw what is going to happen in year 2. This is the scout report that needs to be out there on Paige Bueckers once the Dallas Wings get good, because the Dallas Wings are going to get good at some stage in her career. This was the game where I'm like, okay.
For months, fans have been fed the same scripted narrative straight out of a PR playbook. Paige Bueckers wasn't just a player. She was painted as a chosen one, the so-called inevitable torchbearer, destined to follow Caitlin Clark's footsteps and somehow even surpass her. The media couldn't get enough of it. They flooded headlines, pumping Paige up as if she was rewriting the game itself. The flawless superstar, polished, cerebral, efficient, unstoppable. At least, that's the story they sold.
Elevation of one Paige Bueckers. Oh, she's better than Caitlin Clark. I mean, stab me in the eye with a spoon, for Christ's sakes. Wow. So that's a thing right now. Last night, Paige Bueckers dropped 44 points. And we're going to look at a video that just dissects and exposes a lot of that shit. Let me tell you. It exposes a lot of stuff involving Paige Bueckers getting special treatment on the court.
Remember when Paige on legendary coach Gino Auriemma threw shade at Caitlin Clark? That one comment set the tone. It wasn't just about hyping Paige, it was about downplaying Clark. From that moment on, the narrative was built. Clark wasn't to be trusted, while Paige was crowned the golden child. Looking back now, it's clear that early doubt of Clark set the stage for how she was mistreated and underestimated from the very start.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. You know, Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
Paige grabbed headlines by becoming the fastest to 200 points and 50 assists, barely edging Clark's pace by a single game. Analysts ran wild with it, gushing about her polish and claiming she looked more WNBA ready than Caitlin ever did. ESPN practically handed out golden tickets to ride the hype train. But here's the thing about hype. It only lasts until reality shows up. And reality came dressed in Seattle Storm green.
Divas Kat Engelbert is breathing a sigh of relief. Her pretend friends in the mainstream media, they are trying to crown a new star. If the media has it their way, this could potentially be the new face of pretend basketball. And it's not just the woke media. There are even some in conservative media who are voluntarily biting into the shit sandwich. Headline at Outkick. No, Caitlin, no problem. Paige Bueckers can save the WNBA season.
Fresh off that overhyped 44-point crowning against the Sparks, Paige walked into Seattle like the parade was still going. But the Storm didn't bring confetti. They brought traps, contests, and bone-on-bone physicality. What followed wasn't a celebration. It was a dismantling.
She went off in a game against the Los Angeles Sparks, scoring 44 points, but the craziest part about that was her shooting percentage. She shot over 80% from the field, and I tweeted about that, and I was like, that's actually insane. Give props where they are due. Shooting over 80%, scoring 44 points is actually insane. But with this game, like Paige Bueckers she put on a masterclass in scoring, and I think with that, these are some big numbers.
Paige limped out of Seattle with just 11 points. Not in a quarter, not in a half, 11 for the entire game. She bricked her way to 2 for 11 shooting, handed out 0 assists, and grabbed a forgettable 2 rebounds. That stat line didn't scream future face of the league. It read like a sympathy card. And the wild part? Seattle's coach Noel Quinn called it before tip-off. Let's see if this princess can handle the Caitlin Clark treatment. Spoiler, she couldn't. She cracked under the pressure.
For the game, you said it's going to be important to be physical with like Paige Bueckers. Can you talk about the defensive game plan for Dallas and like how your team was able to hold them to their fewest points of the season?
Yeah, it started, with our attention to detail with Paige. I thought, Slim was very physical, stayed in her space, and the actions that we guarded her in, we were very aggressive, showed multiple bodies, and kind of, made her hesitant to use the ball screen a little bit. I thought we rotated well.
And here's the real twist. While Paige crumbled under one night of defensive heat, Caitlin Clark has been surviving in that fire for over a year. She didn't just disrupt the league, she reshaped it. And what did she get in return? Punishment that looks more like football than basketball. The receipts don't lie. 17% of all flagrant fouls in the 2024 season were committed against Clark alone. That's not tough defense. That's a bullseye on her back.
Know what Paige Bueckers did every time the blitz came her way? Give up the ball and never look to get it back again. She just gave up. That is what we are talking about. You guys are running around and acting like everybody's getting guarded like Caitlin Clark, and it's not the truth. It's not facts at all. It's not facts at all. Paige Bueckers finally got a taste of a glimpse of what that tastes like.
Meanwhile, Clark keeps proving every single night that she's the real deal, dropping numbers under relentless contact, setting records in arenas packed to see her fail, and carrying not just a franchise but the league itself on her back. That's not hype. That's reality. August 22nd, 2025 won't be remembered as Paige Bueckers' coronation. It'll be remembered as a night the hype bubble burst, the night ESPN script collapsed, the night fans saw in real time that there's no next Caitlin Clark. There's Caitlin Clark, and then there's everybody else. And Paige? She just learned the hard way what happens when narrative collides with reality. Here's the truth. Clark is the gold standard, the one elevating not only herself but the entire sport. Paige might be a solid talent, but she's not Clark. And after Seattle exposed her, she might not even be in the same conversation. It's time for the WNBA and ESPN to stop manufacturing replacements and start appreciating the generational talent they actually have, because fans aren't buying the hoax anymore. They are buying into Clark. So what do you think? Did Seattle officially end the Paige Bueckers experiment? Is this proof that the media's obsession with finding a next Caitlin Clark is doomed from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. Smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications on so you never miss the next breakdown.